Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to talk about introduction to integers. Here I have these emotions. If I want to count the emotions, let's start the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we have 8 emotions. So the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. It's called counting numbers. So the counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now, what happens if we add 0 for the counting numbers? It will be the natural numbers. So the natural numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So, as we said, the counting numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The natural numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Let's note that the counting numbers begin with the number 1 and continue without ending. And the natural numbers begin with the number 0 and continue without ending. Here we have a number line. The number line is a horizontal straight line with numbers placed at equal distance from each others along the line. Like here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. We can continue counting to infinity. Now I will ask you a question. Are there any numbers less than 0? Yes, sure. In Canada, sometimes the temperature records 10 degrees Celsius below zero. In this case, you can say that the temperature here is negative 10 degrees Celsius. So here also we have a lot of numbers below the zero. Like here, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 4. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. They called the positive numbers. And the numbers which are below the zero or less than zero, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and so on, they called the negative numbers. Now, all these numbers are called the integers. So in integers, we have the positive numbers, 0, and negative numbers. Now we have to know the integer 0 is neither positive nor negative. Number 2, the non-negative integers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Number 3, the non-positive integers are 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and so on. Number 4, the fractions and decimals which are not whole numbers are not integers. And now, which is an integer? Here in letter A we have negative 0.5. Can we say it's an integer? No, here it's a decimal number, so I can't say it's an integer. In letter B, negative 5. Can we say it's an integer? Yes, because here negative whole number. In letter C, 5.5. Can we say it's an integer? No, because here we have also a decimal number. In letter D, 5 and 4 over 5. Is it an integer? No, we have here a mixed number, so it's not an integer. In letter E, 7 over 7. Can we say it's an integer? Yes, because 7 over 7 what means 1, and 1 is a whole number, so 7 over 7 is an integer. In letter F, 12 over 3. Here first we have to divide it, make divided, or say 12 divided 3, which equals 4. So here 4 a whole number, so 12 over 3, it's an integer. In number 2, write an integer to represent each of the following situations. In letter A, a temperature is 12 degrees Celsius below the zero. So we have 12 degrees below the zero or under the zero, what means negative number. So we are going to write it as negative 12. Letter B, she's diving 10 meters below the sea level. So it will be negative 10. Here, letter C, Ahmed withdraws £6,000 from his bank account. So it will be negative 6,000. Letter D, the tree is 4 meters high. So it will be positive 4. And we will write it here 4. Now, number E or letter E, 3 steps forward. What means here is a positive number, 3. Letter F, a bank deposit of 750 LE. So it will be a positive number. I'm going to add to my bank account. So it will be positive number. So positive 750 or 750. Letter G, a loss of 20 LE. Loss, so it will be negative 20. Letter H, a gain of 7 kilograms. My weight will be increased. Okay, so it will be positive 7. Letter I, a profit of 100 LE. So it will be positive 100. Letter J, decrease of 200. Supers, it will be negative 200. Representing integers on the number line. You can represent integers on horizontal or vertical number line. Every integer can be represented by 1 point on the number line. Number 1, the horizontal number line. Here from the number line above, we note that the positive integers are to the right of 0. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the positive integers. The point that represents 0 is called the origin point. So we have here the origin point, which is represented by 0. And the negative integers are to the left of 0. So here we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and so on. The integers are infinite numbers, so it extends to infinity right to the 0, which are the positive numbers, and left to the 0, which are the negative numbers. In the vertical number line, from the opposite number line, we note that the positive integers are above 0. So here, above the 0, we have the positive integers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And the negative integers are below 0. We have here below the 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. Here, represent each of the following numbers on the horizontal number line. Letter A, we have 4, negative 2, 0, 1, and 5. So here we have 4. So we are going to move to 4 and draw a circle. Now we represent the 4. Negative 2. So here is negative 2, and now draw a circle. 0. So we here the origin point, and I will put circle. 1. So we will represent it by draw a circle, and 5 is here, so we will represent it. Now in number 2, represent each of the following numbers on the vertical number line. We have 1, negative 2, negative 3, 4, and 3. We have here the 1, here is the 1, so we will represent it like this. We have negative 2, so I will be under the 0 or below the 0. So here is negative 2, I will represent it. Negative 3, here is it, so represent negative 3. 4 is positive number, so it will be above the 0, so here, and here is 3, also positive number. The opposite number or additive inverse. On the number line, any two numbers that are at the same distance from 0 and on two opposite positions of it are called opposites or additive inverse. So here is the distance from 0 and 5. It will be the same distance from 0 to negative 5. We have here from 0 to 5, 5 steps or 5 units. And from 0 to negative 5, also 5 units. So we will say 5 and negative 5, the opposites or additive inverse. Each of the integers 5 and negative 5 have the same distance away from 0. Therefore, 5 and negative 5 are opposites. Now we have to note that the opposite of 5 is negative 5. The opposite of negative 5 is 5. The opposite of 5 is negative between brackets negative 5, which equals 5 or which is 5. The opposite of 0 is 0. Here, write the opposite or additive inverse of each of the following numbers. Here we have negative 7, so its additive inverse will be positive 7. So the negative will be positive and the positive will be negative. Here we have 1000. It's a positive number, so its inverse will be negative 1000. And here the last one is 0, so its additive inverse is 0. Use the number line, write the integers for each point, then give its opposites or additive inverse. Here we have the number line. First, we have to finish the number line. Here, to the right of the number line, we have the positive numbers, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, to the left of the 0, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and negative 7. So, to the left of the 0, we have the negative integers, and to the right of the 0, we have the positive integers. Now, number 1, point A, represented by what? Here is negative 2. So the opposite or the additive inverse of negative 2, it will be positive 2. Now, in letter B, we have here B represented by what? It's a negative 4. So its additive inverse is positive 4. Now, the point C equals 1, and its additive inverse is negative 1. And the point D, which equals 4, and its additive inverse is negative 4. Represent each number and its additive inverse on the number line. Here we have 5. To represent 5 on the number line, first step we have to fill the number line. Here we have the 0. To the right of 0 we have the positive integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. To the left of 0 we have the negative integers negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and so on. How to represent the 5? I will move to the point 5 here and draw a point. And what is the additive inverse of 5? It will be negative 5. So here is negative 5, draw point. Now, to represent the 0, we have here the number line. First step, we have to fill the number line. The origin point, 0. And now, to the right of the origin point, or to the right of the 0, we have the positive integers. To the left of the 0, we have the negative integers. Where is the 0? Here is. So, we are going to draw a circle on the 0. What is the additive inverse of 0? It will be also 0. So I'm not gonna to draw another point. Here, negative 4. How to draw or how to represent negative 4? First, we have to fill the number line, like this. 0, origin point. To the right of 0, the positive integers. To the left of 0, the negative integers. Negative 4, here is negative 4 with the negative numbers. So we are gonna to circle it. And now, what is the additive inverse of negative 4? It will be positive 4. So here is positive 4. I'm going to draw a circle. And now let's talk about comparing and ordering integers. On the number line, we have to know when we move to the right of the 0, the number will be greater. And when we move to the left of the 0, the number will be less. Now we have rules for comparing and ordering. Number 1, the negative numbers are crazy. What is the meaning of this? We have here negative 1 is bigger than negative 2. We have to know this. And negative 2 is bigger than negative 3. Negative 3 is bigger than negative 4. Negative 4 is bigger than negative 5. Number 2, 0 lies between the negative numbers and the positive numbers. So here we have the origin point or the 0. Number 3, the positive numbers are smart. So we will move as usual. 1 smaller than 2, 2 smaller than 3, 3 smaller than 4, and so on. So we have to know the 0 is between the negative numbers and the positive numbers. And also we have to know the 0 is bigger than all the negative numbers, but the 0 is smaller than all the positive numbers. Here we have to note that when comparing two integers on a number line, the integer that's farther to the right, it's greater. The integer that's farther to the left, it's less. Put bigger than, smaller than, or equal. In letter A, we have 4 and 3. We have here 4 is a positive integer and 3 also a positive integer. So they are smart. So which number is bigger? The 4 is bigger. In letter B, we have 5 and negative 10. So for sure, which is bigger? 5. The positive numbers all the time bigger than the negative numbers. In letter C, negative 12 and negative 4. As we said before, negative numbers are crazy. So negative 4 will be bigger. Now, 0 and negative 2. As we said before, 0 is bigger than all the negative numbers. So the 0 will be bigger. Now, arrange the following numbers in ascending order. Ascending order here start with the negative numbers because the negative numbers smaller than 0. Now, in letter A, we have 4 and negative 9, 0, 2, and negative 5. Here, which number is the smallest number? We have here positive numbers and negative number. So which numbers are smaller? For sure, the negative numbers, negative 9 and negative 5. So which number is smaller, negative 9 or negative 5? Sure is negative 9 because the negative numbers are crazy. And then negative 5. Now, if we write any number, we have to cross it or cancel it. So we will cancel negative 9 and negative 5. Now, we have 4, 0, 2. Which number is smaller? The 0. So cross it and write it. And now, 2, cross it and write it. The greatest number is 4, cross it and write it. Now we have 1, negative 8, negative 1, 2, and 15. Which numbers are the smaller? We have the negative or smaller. So we have here negative 8 and negative 1. Which one of them is smaller? We have to know the negative numbers are crazy. So negative 8 is smaller. When we write it, we are going to cancel it or cross it. And then we have negative 1. Don't forget to cross it. Then we have 1, 2, and 15. Which number is smaller? All of them are positive, so the positive numbers are smart. So here, the smallest is 1, then 2, and the last one is 15. Don't forget to cross it. And now arrange the following numbers in descending order. Descending order means start with the positive numbers. So here we will start with the positive numbers because they are greater. Here we have 14, negative 90, 0, and here 12. Which numbers are the positive? We have here 14 and 12. As we said before, the positive numbers are smart. So which number is bigger? We have the first number is 14. So cross it and write it. Then we have 12. So cross it and write it. Now we have negative 90 and 0. Which number is bigger? As we said before, 0 is bigger than the negative numbers or integers. So 0 is bigger, cross it, then write it. The last integer is negative 90. And now we have negative 82, negative 28, 28, and 82. Here we are going to arrange it in descending order. So start with the positive numbers. The positive here we have 28 and 82. As we said before, the positive numbers are smart. So which number is bigger? We have 82 is bigger than 28. So we will write it at first. Then we have 28 and cross it. Now we have negative 28 and negative 82. Here, negative numbers are crazy. We need the big number, so it will be negative 28. And the last number is negative 82. Here, complete. The smallest natural number is what? Do you remember the natural numbers? Yes, so the smallest natural number is 0. Supers. And the smallest counting numbers, when we start count the objects or count anything, so the first number will be 1. Supers. Here, the smallest positive integer is 1. And the greatest negative integer is negative 1. Excellent. And here, the smallest non-negative integer is 0. Supers, because the 0 is not a negative integer and also it's bigger than the negative numbers. So here, and smaller than the positive numbers. So the smallest non-negative integer is 0. And the greatest non-positive integer is 0. Because the 0, it's not positive integer and also it's bigger than the negative numbers. The number dots is neither positive nor negative. What is the number which is not negative number and also it's not positive number? So the number is 0. The integers between negative 3 and 2 are dots. Let's see here in the number line. We have here negative 3 and here we have the 2. What are the numbers between them? We have negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. So the numbers negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. The integer which just next negative 4 is dots. So let's see here the negative 4 on the number line. Here is the number line. Next to what means after. So the number which is bigger than negative 4, which equals negative 3. As we said before, the negative integers are crazy numbers. So here the negative 3 is just next to negative 4. Now the integer which just before negative 10, as we said, the negative integers are crazy. So what before negative 10 is negative 11. So the answer is negative 11. Now the number of integers between negative 4 and 3 is dots. Here from the number line, we have negative 4 and 3. How many numbers between them? Let's count the numbers between negative 4 and 3. We have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So the answer is 6. Now write the integers between the two integers of the following. Negative 3 and 4. From the number line, what are the integers between negative 3 and 4? Between negative 3 and 4, we have negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, here, and 3. Now, negative 5 and 0. What are the numbers between them? We have here negative 5 and here 0. So between them we have negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1. Thank you for watching our video.